internet has become inseparable from adolescents' daily life. Unfortunately, overuse of the internet can be harmful to them. Internet addiction is defined as poor controlling internet access that leads to impairment or distress. If a person is addicted to the internet, he or she will develop behaviors such as salience, mood modification, tolerance, withdrawal symptoms, and eventually, this addiction raises conflict and jeopardizes its victims' relationship, interests, education, or career opportunities. Research shows that internet addiction is a trending problem in Hong Kong. It affects not only physical health, but also mental health. And now here is a brief summary about the definition of and behaviors of internet addiction. The aim of this guideline is a framework to provide nurses to achieve smooth and holistic transition care for internet-addicted adolescents who soon leaves the pediatric unit. By setting up different goals, actions, and evaluation methods for each specific age groups, the nurse can provide a seamless transition care plan. This guideline provides nurses the ability to offer holistic care plans in 6 different areas. They are self-efficacy, independent health behaviors, sexual health, health lifestyle, education and career concerns, as well as psychosocial support. And again, here is a short summary listing all key points mentioned above. So let us begin with self-efficacy.
In this part, we are going to educate the potential problem of internet addiction and assess our client to prevent from or get rid of it. In the goal of early stage, we have to assess their related attitude and understanding level. Also, we have to provide internet addiction education with correct behavior and attitude. In this stage, educator involvement and management skills to parents is essential to implement the goal. First of all, we have to know their understanding level and attitude. Then we have to educate them the potential problem of internet addiction will be encountered and the related consequences such as lack of social network due to poor communication skill and withdrawal. Also, we have to educate the parents how to give the appropriate monitoring and guidance by delivering correct attitude and behavior. In evidence part, clients should able to identify the potential problem, correct attitude and behavior of internet use. Furthermore, parents can interfere in internet activity and control their internet access time.
In the early stage, the goal is let the client know about the problem of active behavior, give the basic knowledge of affecting his or her daily lives, and also give support to the client to start to change the addictive behavior, mainly focus on the family support that for client to gain attachment, also provide about information of internet addiction. By using the assessment to let the adolescent know about the level of addiction, and we will use the IAT and CFAI to assessment to assess. And after the assessment, be aware of the tone and language usage when interviewing with the client, and also expect the client to increase the knowledge about internet addiction. For the middle stage, we will let the client know more about his or herself and encourage the client to meet more about their similar age of peer group and able to start seeking help by themselves. For the action, we mainly focus on teaching for the client to face the actual problem by doing some records or logbooks. For the evidence part, we will arrange some outdoor activity that will help them to develop their hobbies. We expect they are willing to write down the problem and show the developmental process through the record. In the later stage, we hope client can maintain their health and behaviors to let the client know about the risks of health for addicting on internet and further effects, and also help the client to handle their behavior independently. In this stage, the main action is focused on behavioral and psychological records to guide them to assess their progress by themselves. For example, they develop their own timetable, handle some consultation by themselves for long term. For the evidence part, the client may know about how to design their time blocks or work and play schedule for later adjustment with that and also expect that the client can do this part after our care, and also they can consult the psychological experts or social workers afterwards.
For the psychological goals, we tend to identify possible psychological deficiency due to excessive use in the internet, and if the social goals, we also want to identify the possible social problems. So I want the clients able to understand the available supports in different sectors. On the actions, we may require the clients to complete an assessment test to assess the level of effects. So from the social action, we want to have a screening workshop with the social workers and then asking them some questions in the social connections, like how many friends you have or what do just your relationship with your parents, and encourage the parents also to hold some activities once a week. In early stage, we want to increase their self-awareness about the negative impacts in the disorders. In social aspect, we want to increase their motivation in discuss their own problem by themselves, and also increase their self-awareness and increase the understanding about the family strength and increase the communication. In the middle stage, we want them to recognize any emotion triggers and cognitive errors when using the internet. Also, we want to motivate clients to enter treatments by themselves. In the social aspect, we want to increase their willingness to form a new social network by the therapist or by their own in some social activities. For the actions, we encourage them to use some alternate methods to reduce their stresses. Sometimes it's important to normalizing the culture of self-referral. In social aspect, we also want to enhance the willingness to reform the social network also through the social activities. So we expect that the clients can use the methods correctly and then also can enter some treatment by themselves gradually. In the social aspect, they should show confidence in reforming new social connections and also increasing their quality of social lives. In the late stage, the psychological part is need to realize the appropriate use of internet and also increase their awareness of any black hole of the internet addiction, so they can have some discuss with the nurses. In the social aspect, also evaluate some significant changes by themselves, like they have increased their social activities, so we want them to interact with her social group independently. For the actions, we want them to satisfy their needs to be online actively. Also, we want them to restrict the usage of internet. And in the social aspect, we suggest the clients to form his social network by his own, and also with a discussion workshop for them to see any changes and discuss with the nurses. But we also require them to do assessment in the anxiety levels.